Everyone thinks Kylo Ren killed Snoke. The autopsy says otherwise. Case File 001. Subject: Snoke, Supreme Leader. Status: deceased. Time of death: The Throne Room, Episode 8. Cause of death: redacted, pending examination. The wound is clean. The diagnosis is not. Let's open it up. History of the patient. When the patient was admitted, he was the most powerful figure in the galaxy. He was introduced as Supreme Leader of the First Order, a master pulling the strings from somewhere in the dark. You were not shown his location. You were not shown his origin. You were shown a giant.
I just need your guidance.
For 2 years, the galaxy's audience did the work the films had not. The theories were extraordinary. He was Darth Plagueis, cheating death across centuries. He was an ancient Sith from before the Republic. He was the long-game master who had engineered everything since the beginning. And here is what must be said plainly. That hype was earned. The first film built him with genuine menace, a scarred colossus, a voice like gravel under a door, a presence that made the new villains look small. The patient walked into the room as a god. On paper, he had everything a hidden master needs. Prior conditions on file, and the chart is alarming.
Zeke is aboard the Millennium Falcon.
Finding one. The patient was given enormous power and no defined identity. A name, a throne, a hologram, and nothing underneath. He had no history.
No homeworld.
No stated allegiance. No reason to exist beyond menace. Finding two. The trilogy he was born into had no story Bible, no locked outline across 3 films, no agreed-upon destination for any character, including him. Each film was handed off to a different filmmaker, with no contract about where the story was going. Finding 3. The patient's design was still being negotiated while the first film was already shooting. The voice was recorded before the character had a face. This is the chart of a patient who arrived at surgery without a chart. Compare the patient to the master who worked. Palpatine was a hologram before he was a face, a whisper before he was a throne. But his mystery was planned across 6 films. He was withheld on purpose by people who knew the answer the whole time. That is the difference. One villain was a question with a solution in the drawer.
The other was a question with an empty drawer behind it. The examination.
Well done, my...
We go now to the kill itself, the Throne Room, Episode 8. Snoke sits at the desk. He reads Kylo Ren's mind. He reads Rey's. He toys with both of them, confident, untouchable. And then the saber on the armrest turns, and the patient is cut in half mid-sentence. No final monologue, no reveal. The most powerful man in the galaxy, dead before he finished a thought. Now, before the finding. The strongest case for this choice deserves to be heard in full. In isolation, killing the mystery villain mid-trilogy is a craft move with real virtue. It refuses the trap. The easy path was to make Snoke a second emperor, reveal a grand backstory, and replay a story the audience had already seen. Killing him instead forces the apprentice to become the antagonist. Kylo Ren stops being a servant and starts being the threat. It is a deliberate denial of the audience's homework. 2 years of fan theory, refused on purpose, because the film argues the mystery was never the point. The argument is that the emotional engine was never Snoke. It was the connection between these two. The interrogation room, the pull between them, the question of where Kylo would turn. That is a coherent artistic position. Held on its own, the throne room kill is bold, clean, and defensible. And it is the right operation performed on a body that was never prepared for it. Because subversion has one structural requirement. To subvert the expectation, you must replace it with something built. Now we go to the body. Cause of death.
The obvious cause of death is that they killed him too early.
That is not the finding. The cause of death is that there was never a him to kill. When the scalpel went in, there were no internal organs to examine, no backstory, no defined identity, no plan for what he was supposed to become. The autopsy found a vacancy where a character should have been. He was not a person being withheld. He was a vacancy with a voice.
Snoke was a question the films never intended to answer. You cannot withhold a solution you never wrote. You can only delay the moment everyone discovers it was never there. The throne room is not where Snoke died. It is where the audience found the empty drawer. The ruling. The ruling is not against a single creative choice. The throne room kill in isolation was sound.
The verdict is on the conditions around it. Exhibit 1. The trilogy launched with no overall plan. No master outline binding the 3 films together. Exhibit 2. The first film and the second film were written and directed by different filmmakers, each making independent choices with no shared map. Exhibit 3. The third film changed directors mid-production. The original filmmaker was removed over creative differences, and the first film's director was brought back as a replacement. Exhibit 4. The returning film tried to fix the vacancy in one line. Snoke was retroactively declared a puppet, grown in a lab by an old master. That is not a solution. That is a confession. A confession that nobody ever wrote the answer. The retcon did not fill the empty drawer. It admitted the drawer had always been empty. 3 filmmakers, 3 films, one destination agreed upon by none of them. Snoke did not die because one director made one bold cut. Snoke died because no one above that director ever decided who he was.
Good. Then we will crush them.
The cause of death was administrative. The toe tag always had one line left blank. We can fill it in now.
Ruling. Homicide. Perpetrator. A leaderless production.
Victim, not Snoke. The plan that never existed. Another one for the graveyard.